Okay, folks, thanks a million for joining us. It's a great pleasure for me to be given the opportunity to speak to two leading experts in the IT industry in the form of Omar and Biju, who both work for Alpha Data and Cisco. We're going to talk a lot about some of their solutions today, so I'm really looking forward to speak to them. My name is Mark Forker. I'm the editor of Computer News Middle East. So enough from me. I'm going to kickstart the interview and I'm going to speak to Omar first. I'm going to ask him about the ongoing global COVID-19 pandemic. It's pretty impossible to avoid that question at the minute. So obviously it's forced businesses, Omar, to transition their employees from a physical working environment to a virtual one. However, my question to you is, many businesses, aren't secure as a result. Their applications are vulnerable to cyber attacks. We've seen that globally, where people are looking to really capitalize and exploit those vulnerabilities. So what I want to find out is, how can Cisco's diverse suite of security solutions help enterprises to be better protected?
Definitely, great question from your side, Mark. So to start with an answer for that, so we have seen that challenge with most of the customers right now, and with some additional challenges that just showed up in the recent COVID-19 pandemic, which is not only about the vulnerable applications, but also about the additional number of users who are working remotely. So we are actually aware of all the challenges that customers are facing with the increased amount of attacks against their vulnerable applications. And what happened with COVID-19, it also pushed the customer right now to start not only asking the users to work from remote locations, but also to migrate their applications to some public clouds, which also introduced some new way of hosting their applications in an environment that they haven't been used to it. So the way that Cisco took this moving forward since the start of the pandemic is we created different security offerings for the customers that can help them to secure different aspects of their businesses. And it was packaged in a way for them to easily consume it, talking about secure remote workers, where it provides the users with secure connectivity to the infrastructures, plus a protection mechanisms for their machines they use to connect to the organizations, like VPN connectivity with Cisco and Connect, a duo for multi-factor authentication, umbrella for DNS security. On the other side, for protecting the vulnerable applications, even the non-vulnerable applications, we provided different solutions like a package called breach defense, which can help the customers to secure their environments, workloads, and help them to respond pretty quickly to any kind of attacks, with an endpoint protection solutions that can protect both users and workloads, with titration for workload protection. So we have created those different packages, those different solutions, security suites, and we propose those to the customers, even free of charge, for the whole the past COVID-19 period, where customers were easily able to go and get the full solution to protect their environments and users.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just before I hand you over, Biju, I want to say, Omar, that's a fantastic answer, really comprehensive overview of the suite of solutions. And I have to say, I think that's fantastic from Cisco to assist customers during a very difficult time. So I think you deserve a lot of credit for that, and you've shown good corporate social responsibility there. So Biju, is there anything you'd like to add to what Omar has said?
Yeah, Omar has put it across the very valid thought process in this. But what we are seeing, this current pandemic situation brought both Alpha Data and Cisco think out of the box solution, run customers' business without any major glitches. As a responsible technology provider to the UAE market, both Alpha Data and Cisco worked out the solution for the customers on a temporary basis to run their business. And we are also evaluating and giving the right consultancy on the long-term business continuity plans. So what is the result? The Cisco's product team and Alpha Data services team to building in a collaborative platform on the collaboration side to communicate and ensuring the right security to be achieved through their VPN services. So this is what we are providing to our customers. As a security consultant and security experts, we foresee there will be a security challenges going to be come across in this current model of an adoption, either work from home or moving your information to the cloud. So we both Cisco and Alpha Data building the right cyber security blueprint to protect our informations.
Thanks, Biju. I think you've really complemented Omar's earlier responses very well there, and sort of talked about the collaboration between both parties and how you're, as you say, creating that blueprint for cybersecurity. So thanks a million for that from both of you guys. So I'm just going to move on to the next question. And I'm going to start with you again, Omar. In terms of the general consensus in the IT industry, a new security approach is required for modern data centers. There's been a lot of discussion over that. In your opinion, how does the integrated portfolio offering from Cisco and Alpha Data deliver this in order to, it's complex to deploy the solutions needed to make your data center secure. So can you tell me a little bit about the integrated portfolio offering from Cisco and Alpha Data?
Definitely. So in Cisco, we are not only providing customer security solutions, we are also providing a full data center solution end-to-end from infrastructure perspective and from security perspective. So in order for us to build and provide that technology, it requires lots of skill set from our side to not only to deliver the technology itself, but to make sure that once we deliver that technology, we give the customer a platform where the different components are integrated with each other. So it's not only about delivering the technology itself, but we think about how the customer would operate and run that technology later on his environment in a way that makes his life easy, from building the infrastructure itself, integrating the different components, sharing that information between the different components of that architecture, and definitely making it agile and ready for the future. So we do have that technology, and we keep innovating and building more and more in that technology, but we are also aware that the customer might be having multiple different other third-party components where we need to rely on a trusted partner and system integrator, such as Alpha Data, where they can work with us and with the customer hand by hand to ensure that our technology is built, proposed, and designed in the best way that can serve the customer's requirements. Number two, it is built based on the best practices when it comes to security. And number three, all the possible integrations we can do on Cisco with Cisco and Cisco with third party can be done either through the partnership between Cisco and Alpha Data, or with the expertise that Alpha Data they have in-house to integrate it with third party, to ensure by the end of the day, the full success and delivery of the customer's requirements for the different use cases they have.
That's brilliant, Omar. And just to keep you on the line there for a second, just in relation to what you said, I found it was very interesting. You talk about skill set. So that is a challenge for a lot of customers. So you deploy the solution, but then do they have the skill set to properly manage the solution? So is that where you and Alpha Data sort of come together to help them and make this as easy as possible for them to obviously to use?
Definitely. So having a skill set in those different technologies in different areas, talking about data center technology, Cisco, non-Cisco different products, is a big task, and it requires an army from the customer side to be available to deploy, implement, configure, and operate. So we can offload most of that skill set requirements from the customer side to a trusted partners like Alpha Data or even Cisco as a vendor as well. So we actually work with Alpha Data to provide that skill set and ensure any deliverable is being done based on best practices, while we deliver the best of our experience, both as a vendor and a partner or system integrator, to satisfy and deliver the customer needs and requirements.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Omar. And Biju, is there anything you want to add to that?
Yes, added to this, what Omar said, what customer is nowadays looking on this? They started to review and adopt the new way of preparing their data centers. When in this case, what they wanted to look on innovative thought on the automation side for reducing the overheads on the operation side, what Umar was mentioning, and also we are showcasing on our customers to how they can move their load to the public cloud, or if a customer need to review on the challenge on the public cloud, how to get into the hybrid cloud environment. Alpha Data's technology team is geared up on delivering these services, and we have a right skill set on delivering to either to build an automation services solution or to move the customer to the hybrid cloud environment. When a customer move to this hybrid cloud environment automation, there are right cybersecurity model and guidelines need to be protected across to ensure the data are protected and information are secured. We both, as a strategic partner from Alpha Data and Cisco, is building together to the right security guidelines to ensure our customers are protected.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Biju. And again, I think you complimented what Omar said. Great. And I think the recurrent theme between both of what you guys are saying is like very customer centric. And I suppose the success that Cisco has had in Alpha Data is the fact that you're always putting the customer first. It's very customer centric, and that's basically at the core of everything you guys do. So thanks, brilliant. Thanks a million for articulating that. So I'm just going to move on to a term I hear a lot about. And I'm not going to say I'm an expert in what it actually means. So I'm hoping you guys can enlighten me here. So I hear the term zero trust banded around a lot in terms of conversations around security. But what does it actually mean, and what are the defining characteristics of a zero trust approach to security? And I'll ask Omar to begin dissecting that for us.
So talking about such a big marketing terminology, which is zero trust, is let me break it down into a more technical and some kind of practical explanation for it. So today, if we think about how things are connected, what is being connected, where are our applications and data? Right now, we have an explosion of number of IoT devices being introduced and connected to our environments. We have a different types of users who are connected from different locations using different devices. Looking at our applications, previously we used to have our application hosted in our data center, so we know where is the application, where the data is, and we can big time control how we can interact with them. Right now, with hybrid adoption of public and private clouds, moving our workloads to different locations for scalability and agility, all those kind of new things that we are introducing is also putting big question marks to the operations team. Questions like, do we have full visibility? Do we know where the users are connected from, how they are connected? Is this user is really who's saying who he is, or he's trying, or this is someone with a stolen password? He's trying to authenticate with a legitimate username and password that was just compromised some time back. What about the applications? Are all the users trying to access those applications are legitimate users and authorized to access those applications and the data sitting behind it? So in order to answer all those questions, this is not a pretty easy task. So we can do it in a different way. So let's start with trusting no one. Let's start with zero trust. I don't want to trust anyone. I want to make sure that, number one, anything that will be connected, regardless if it was a user, an IoT device, any kind of device that needs to be connected, should be authenticated and validated. I need to make sure that I have full visibility in who is accessing my data centers, applications, and data. So how we do that in Cisco? In Cisco, zero trust is broken into three main pillars. So we have zero trust for workforce, where we can say workforce zero trust. So we focus on the people who are working with the environment or within the organization, or even the contractors and third party. So we use solutions like multi-factor authentication from Cisco, which is Duo, to authorize the people and make sure that whoever is trying to connect is being validated and authenticated. So we give them the option to connect from anywhere, using any device, accessing any application, but in a secure way. So that's how we can eliminate anyone who should not be authorized to access. We have zero trust for workloads, which gives us full visibility on how the communications is happening towards or against our data center applications and workloads. Who's trying to access them? What kind of data is being retrieved from them? What's the kind of data being uploaded from them? So all those aspects of the communications with the workloads, and we can fully control those conversations. And last but not least, we have zero trust for work location. So we can secure the locations where the users are connected from, either by providing a specific secure VPN connections, or if they are connected from our headquarters or offices, we put them in the right segment, and we provide different segments for each set of users or devices. We don't mix things up. So the whole aspect of zero trust from Cisco doesn't focus only on one aspect. It takes it from a holistic view, and it can help customers to have full visibility and control over what's happening in the environment. And definitely it can help them to control their environment and eliminate any possibilities of breaches.
Brilliant. So, and as you say, the three pillars of zero trust are built on workforce, workloads, and work protection, or work location.
Yes.
Brilliant. So thanks for articulating that for me. You've broken it down for me very in layman's terms, as they say. So no, I appreciate that, and I was able to consume it. So Biju, again, is there anything you'd like to add to Omar in terms of zero trust?
Yes, Mark. What we are seeing is zero trust is a strategic initiative need to be implemented all the partners. What we are seeing the day by day, our IoT endpoints are increasing. That means it is increasing your search for the vulnerability points are increasing. So zero trust means it's in principle what exactly doing. Never trust, always verify. If it's a trusted user, non-trusted user, there is no segmentation. Like it's always you verify, and which is very important to protect your modern digital environments by leveraging network segmentation, prevent the lateral movement between the traffic, providing in the layer 7 threat prevention, and simplify the granular user access control layer. So this is very key to ensure a customer who is going to adapt a digital transformation technology into their infrastructure. Zero trust is a mandatory element nowadays to ensure their security blueprints are taken care. So we, as an Alpha Data, we worked on these multi-vendor technologies to ensure give the security blueprint to our customer. Cisco is doing a leading role on top of
Thanks for that, Biju. Appreciate it. So obviously, I think both of you guys have already touched on the sort of collaboration you've both and how you both help each other. So I'm just going to ask you, just I suppose, to maybe go into a little bit more detail on the actual partnership between Alpha Data and Cisco, and you know how important the collaboration is for both parties, just so our readers understand the sort of nuances and dynamic between the two companies. So I'll start again there with you. Either one, Omar, Biju, you can, either one of you can take this.
Okay, I'll put it across this one. Alpha Data is evolving the solution positioning in line with the pace of market demands because the customer are more oriented towards their business needs. So we started to realign our solution positioning in line with the digital transformation technology. Our solution consists of big data, IoT, cloud, modern workspace, artificial intelligence. These are the major key pillars. When we go and implement this digital transformation technology, cybersecurity will be the key positioning, key player to ensure for your data protection, data guidelines, and the data breach security. So Alpha Data is cybersecurity framework consists with a multi-vendor solution approach to complete the security blueprints. And the Cisco and other vendors are playing a right role to transform our customer on that digital transformation approaches.
Brilliant. Biju, is there anything you want to add to that, Omar?
Yeah, definitely. So Cisco is a big partner-led organization. So we do create and innovate and build different technologies in different areas, including collaboration, security, data center, and it goes more on different kind of technologies. So we definitely, while we innovate and create those different technologies to help customers boost and create and innovate more in their business, we definitely need to rely on a strong partner and system integrator who can help us to deliver this technology in the best way possible to the customer, and at the same time be the trusted bridge between us and the customers to make our solutions as well work with any other third-party tool or technology that the customer might be having from different vendors. So for us, having a strong partner like Alpha Data with strong skills that they have is a key for our success towards our commitment to the customers, not only in UAE, but also in the region as well.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Omar. Sounds like a perfect partnership. So, Omar, I want to ask you now directly about Cisco. You've already touched upon sort of that huge acceleration and movement, you know, between public and private cloud and looking for hybrid cloud models. But obviously, at the core of all that has to be security. You know, people's data has to be protected. We know, we've seen the damage that, you know, a potential hack can have on a company. So obviously, Cisco, global leader. But, you know, can you tell us a little bit about the unique capabilities of Cisco's, you know, umbrella in terms of its ability to provide cloud delivered security?
Definitely. So Umbrella is one of the main pillars in our security offerings to the customer. It's actually our first line of defense that delivers security to the customer. And what it does basically and briefly, so it's a DNS security-based solution that actually looks at the first packet that went or goes from any device that's trying to connect to the internet. So whenever you try to do something like cisco.com or browse any internet website, the first thing that will be initiated from your machine is a DNS query. So what Umbrella will basically do, it will look at this DNS query and try to identify the domain that you are trying to reach to. So we see in Umbrella more than 220 billion DNS queries on a daily basis. So when we see that DNS query, we will try to compare it to what we know in our database, in our huge threat intel database that we have collected through many years and through those more than 220 billion queries on a daily basis. And if it's related to any malicious kind of activity that we know currently active or we have seen in the past, we can immediately block that request on behalf of the organization. So what it will do actually, it will not even allow that URL to be successfully for the connection to that specific domain. It will not be even established. So that's why we can consider it as a first line of defense. The beauty behind Umbrella, as it's a cloud native DNS security solution, it does have a security that will follow the user wherever he goes to. So if he's working from office, if he's working from a cafe, from his home, the same policies that is being applied on that specific user as he's working in the office will be following him wherever he goes. That gives the organizations the full flexibility to adopt and enhance their remote worker model by putting security as a priority and the top of mind requirement to protect the user and whatever assets he's using remotely.
Brilliant. And I think I can see how much of a benefit that would be in the current climate, having that security, regardless if you're in the office, you're in the home, that's following you everywhere. And as you say, it's the real first line of security. So great answer, Omar. Thanks a million for that. Obviously, guys, 2020, we've all had to re-alter our plans regardless of industry. But just, I suppose, it's a generic enough question, but in terms of the integrated security offer from Alpha Data and Cisco, what's the main objectives for you guys now for the remainder of 2020? And I'll start with you, Omar.
Definitely. So looking at what changed in the past couple of months, it made vendors and customers think in a different way. So for us moving forward with 2020, we definitely would work side by side with Alpha Data as our trusted partner to deliver right now the new requirements for the customers. We have seen customers right now requiring us to support them to do zero trust approach or helping them out to migrate their workloads to the cloud or support them to create an infrastructure that's ready for remote workers. Talking about healthcare, for example, we have seen some new hospitals asking us to prepare solutions that can help them to deal and interact with the patients remotely. Same goes for schools. So for us as a vendor and system integrator right now, we want to provide the ultimate and whatever support is required from our side in terms of technology, consultancy, skill set to deliver those requirements to the customer and to make sure that we help them through this journey to ensure that they have the agility and they can execute their plans without compromising the business and making sure that everything is being delivered in a secure way.
That's great. Great answer, Omar. Thanks, William, for that. And Biju, just want to add to that?
Yes, you're right, Mark. What is happening into nowadays? The data is scattered across either in the on-premises or in the cloud or as in different zones. What as a responsible system integrator, we are doing the right classification of this information and put a right solution blueprint to protect their information and data. We are playing, we and Cisco are playing a major role to put it across the consultancy services and the solution proposition and delivering that solution to the customer to protect their data. So in 2020, one of our key partner to protect our customer information will be with Cisco.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Biju. Look, guys, it's been a fantastic interview. I found it very informative, very engaging, and it's been educational as well for me, especially in terms of the zero trust that Omar explained to me. But look, I think, Omar, you've already, articulated the suite of solutions that Cisco have on offer, and I can see why it's such a leader in terms of security. But just finally, I want to ask you about SecureX, and I want to find out, how it can really help customers become much more efficient. And I think the key word is proactive in terms of responding and to those threats in real time.
Definitely. Thanks for asking the question, because SecureX is the latest addition to our security family. It's a platform that actually we are offering to any Cisco customer who does have a Cisco security solution. So if you look at what's happening in the customer's environment right now, they are acquiring tens of different security solutions to make sure that they are protected against the changing and dynamic type of threats we are seeing in the market on a daily basis. So that creates lots of pressure on the customers in terms of operating those different solutions, sharing the intelligence around what each and every solution is capturing and protecting the customers against, and maintaining the skill set. And this is a pretty heavy job for the customer, especially when it comes to integration. We have seen in so many cases a real legitimate logs that the customers being screened actually on the customer's monitor, that the employees or the operation engineers, they cannot even go and work on, because they are overloaded with tons of different types of logs. So since Cisco is delivering multiple different types of solutions, so this came actually based on the idea that we should actually help the customer to reduce the complexity of getting multiple security products, but at the same time not to compromise the efficacy. So we are integrating our products out of the box. This is number one, what the customers will get, but this is not enough. So SecureX actually is going to ingest and show to the customer in one single dashboard all the logs around the different security threats that were captured through Cisco products. And on top of that, we can integrate with many multiple third-party tools to enhance the customer experience. Number two, customers can use a built-in orchestrator component or module within SecureX, so they can build an automatic response to a specific event. For example, if we found one machine, one Windows machine, for example, that got compromised, or there is a malware impacting that specific device. So SecureX can help the customer, number one, in getting notified around this. And number two, it can respond automatically by cleaning that malware, getting a snapshot of that compromised machine, and isolating that machine so it doesn't infect any other machines within the organization. All of those is happening automatically without any manual intervention from the customer side. So again, this is something we are providing to the customer at no additional cost with any Cisco security product, because we think this is a responsibility and it's a mission that we need to deliver to the customers, rather than an additional tool that they should procure and work a lot on it to integrate the different components with it together to get the value out of it. So SecureX is something the customers can get access to today if they have any of our Cisco security products.
That's brilliant. And I think just what it sounds like to me as well is like you're empowering the customers. You know, you're empowering them. You know, you put them in the one dashboard, you're giving them full visibility. It seems to be compatible with, as you say, third-party providers. So, I mean, that has to be attractive for a customer, because ultimately you're giving them the tools to concentrate on what they need to do, and they're secure, and you're allowing them to, you're not siloing them into a certain thing. You're allowing them to tailor whatever package that they actually want.
Definitely, indeed.
Sounds great. Look, guys, it's been a great interview. Thanks a million for your time. As I said before the previous question, I've really enjoyed the interview. It's been very informative for me, and I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to a journalist. I know it's not not everybody's favorite thing to do, but I really do appreciate your time, and as I say, I enjoyed the conversation immensely.